EPAWA meteorologist Bobby March is here with your outlook for the weekend, December 28th and 29th, 2019. For your Saturday, we're expecting partly cloudy skies. The better of the two weekend days for any outdoor plans is going to definitely be here on Saturday with a mix of clouds and sun expected today. After a cloudy day yesterday, we are going to see the sun today and partly cloudy skies overnight as well. So if you have anything to do this weekend, I would recommend getting it done today, especially if you're going to be outdoors in order for that to occur. So Saturday looks good, partly cloudy, temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50 across the region, and then clouds are going to increase on Sunday. You might have a little bit of sun very early in the day in some areas on Sunday morning, but then the clouds are going to quickly increase as this system out here is going to make a beeline toward the area. And we're going to have those increasing clouds pretty rapidly here on Sunday, and then late in the day you'll have some showers rotating through that are going into the evening. You see just scattered showers at first as we start off Sunday evening, and that's going to go evolve into steady periods of rain overnight, Sunday night, and continuing into Monday, and that's going to last pretty much most of the day here on Monday. A little low pressure going to move along that boundary before it moves out. Might enhance some of this precipitation a little bit before it kicks out here on Monday evening, and then finally pulls away. Here's what the model projections are showing. These are initial estimates, and this is not necessarily what we're going to be sending today in the My Pocket Meteorologist alerts. This is just to give you a general idea. You see a lot of areas here that are going over 1 inch of rainfall. This is rain in its entirety from start to finish because it's going to be too warm. There's no chance of any frozen precipitation with this. So this is all rain totals here, and you see some areas are going over an inch, some over 1.25 inches, in fact. So we will narrow this down today and give you a representation of that in the My Pocket Meteorologist alerts for those that are subscribed. We do send rain alerts too for significant weather, and this is significant in our minds here. Greater than 1/2 inch of rain in 24 hours will do it. So that's the rain estimates. These are just preliminary, and what you could be looking at in that late Sunday through Monday evening time frame. With this system until it pulls away. After it does pull away, we do have partly cloudy skies expected Tuesday through Thursday. Temperatures are going to take a slight step back. We're going to be upper 40s near 50s today as we get into Sunday and Monday. You're kind of like mid to upper 40s for both days there. And then we'll take a slight step back to the lower 40s, it looks like, for most areas here in the Tuesday through Thursday time frame, but it will be partly cloudy, it looks like. There still is a slight chance with this little system off to the north here. You might get a very far interior, far northern areas, might see a quick snow shower here on New Year's Eve, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Doesn't look like anything significant. We'll continue to watch it, but it looks like it's no big deal, and majority of that stays off to the north. And otherwise, we are partly cloudy Tuesday through Thursday, and again, temperatures kind of like low to mid 40s-ish is what we're looking at, which is still technically slightly above average for this time of year relative to most of our area. So this is still a little bit too warm, even though it cooled down a little bit. It's not really cold by any means in that time frame. Then Thursday, again, we're partly cloudy here, but we have clouds quickly increasing overnight, and the next system's going to affect us with rain coming into the picture here for Friday. These are rain showers moving through, first with the warm front, and then we'll have the trailing system and cold front moving through. You can see in this image here, if I can draw you can see where the ridge is. It's right along here. Here's where the ridge. So there's a big ridge moving in here. This means that there's going to be plenty of warm temperatures. And again, we're not dealing with any wind shear precipitation with this particular system. And this is going to continue into Friday, and might even go into Friday night here until the front actually passes and clears. Before we finally get some clearing out here on Friday night. But that is the end of next week that we're dealing with at that point. And it will be behind this system a transient cool shot of air coming in behind this. So you might have a cool down back into the 30s for highs once we get beyond this point. We're now looking at the following weekend here. So we'll get into that when we get a little bit closer. It's outside of our effective range for forecasting. But this is the general idea for the next couple of days. This is this weekend. We have warmer temperatures in place compared to average. These are very much above here in the Tennessee Valley up through the upper Midwest here. These are very warm temperatures compared to what average should be for this time of year. And that's pretty much going to continue over the next couple of days here, going right into the new year. Here's looking into the first week of January. You can see warm temperatures coming back in here again ahead of that system that I just showed you here for next weekend. And then we're going to slowly decrease the temperatures. And eventually we'll get a little bit of cold in here. It's uncertain how cold this gets. I don't think this is going to be like a cold snap where you have highs in the 20s kind of thing. But near average this time of year at this point, this is now looking at the 7th of January. Near average at this time of year is definitely low to mid 30s. That's what normal highs are at this time. So even near average, it's still cold enough to support snow. So might have something thread the needle to deal with here in this week. It's uncertain. We have to continue to watch that period, but there is a possibility for some wintry aspect of some system coming in here. It might just be like a little clipper system, something small, nothing generally large, but it does look like this ridge that's over the southeastern U.S. is going to rebuild, though, with time, and we're going to go back into slightly above average temperatures once we get past the 10th of the month. So I updated the long-range forecast yesterday, and I got a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people understand that there was changes necessary. A lot of sources out there that are holding on to this idea that it's going to be a cold and snowy January. We punted January yesterday. When I say punted, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't get snow. It just means that the chances for snow are much less, and the chances for getting above average snowfall for the month at all of our locations across the region is much less. Okay? The warmer periods are going to greatly outweigh the colder periods. When I say warmer, it just means warmer relative to average. It doesn't mean we're going to be 60s and 70s here, folks. It means we're going to be you're going to have some systems that are going to cut, bring in some milder air, 40s, upper 40s to 50, kind of like we're dealing with, this weekend, or Sunday and Monday. Okay? You'll have some periods of that are going to overwhelm any colder shots that you get during that time frame. So I do think the month of January, at least the first half, is going to be generally milder than average. It does not mean we are saying winter is over. I'm going to explain this a little bit better in the Weather Weekly video on Sunday. It seems a lot of people don't understand how can you just flip like that? Why? Yeah, I don't understand. It was supposed to be cold and snowy. Now it's warm and mild. What's going on? So I'll explain this. It's a very simple explanation of this, and we actually use actual observed data to make these conclusions for January instead of relying on models. Okay, a lot of people see, the Euro Weeklies came out and they're very warm. That was part of it, but we still have we have some observed data, things we can actually physically see going on. That's going to allow much of at least the first half of January to be milder than average. So I'm going to explain this in the Weather Weeklies video on Sunday, give you a little bit different perspective and a visual so you can see that instead of just reading the discussions that we put in there for the both the pattern and the precipitation discussions and the long-range outlook. If you did not read the long-range outlook yet, please take a look at that in advance of that so you at least have a background before watching the video here on Sunday. And I'll go through that and I will give an explanation of why I think we're going to be punting most of this month, meaning we're not going to have a sustainable cold and snowy period here during the month of January other than thread the needle situations. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for the weekend, December 28th and 29th, 2019. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.